What's next for Fubara, as Governor Fubara?
Oh, well, to obey the orders of the court, which is he has already endorsed that he will obey. The government of Rivers State has said that they will obey the lawful orders of court. So that is what is next for him. And then you can, from your news, that they have already started making arrangements for conduct of local government election. And whether he will will be able to present the budget 2025 appropriation bill before the State Assembly tomorrow is what we are yet to see. But I think that giving him just 2 days to present that appropriation bill is it's a bit high-handed because appropriation bill is not something that you toy with. People believe that it has already been produced, that it's just for him to go and present it. But we also have to know that it had already been presented to the House. Now that the Supreme Court has said, go and represent, I don't think giving him 2 days ultimatum is in the interest of the people of Rivers or in.
Well, if you can still hear me, if you're still on the line with us, I was going to ask you what the potential consequences are if the governor fails to stick to that ultimatum and present the budget to the lawmakers.
I didn't hear you well.
Right, you're still with me then. I asked what the potential consequences are if Governor Fubara fails to meet that ultimatum on Wednesday.
Well, if he fails to meet the ultimatum on Wednesday, there's nothing untoward because the Supreme Court that gave that judgment did not give such timeline, which one can say is a trepidation, the timeline that will stampede him into going to make the presentation. I think that common sense would have prevailed, and if it was given about 1 or 2 weeks, that wouldn't be bad. 7 working days or 1 week wouldn't be bad, so that the officers of government will rally around and represent the budget as directed by the Supreme Court.
So how does
I think even if he fails to do that tomorrow, I do not think it is too bad. But at least the fact remains that he is working assiduously on that. But it would be nice that he sends a representation to the House of Assembly to tell the honorable members the reason why he is unable to meet the deadline and not just ignore them. Ignoring them will not be very good for the polity.
How does the Supreme Court's ruling recognizing the 27 lawmakers loyal to Minister Nyesom Wike impact the political landscape of Rivers State?
Well, it is a very curious development which has brought a lot of worries to so many analysts and even to so many lawyers, to the extent that even the gladiators themselves are surprised that it went the way it went, because the Supreme Court, in the mind of the Supreme Court, the men did not defect. Why did I say in their mind? Because the matter of defection has not come before the Supreme Court. What has come before the Supreme Court was the issue of the appropriation. But it now became very curious that the Supreme Court would recognize the fact that they were not there when appropriation bill was presented to the House. And if the Supreme Court recognized the fact that they were not there, ordinarily one should expect that the Supreme Court should also recognize the reason why they were not there. And the reason why they were not there is a public in the public domain, which ordinarily one expected that the court would take judicial notice or public notice of such development, which was to the effect that the men decamped and their seats were declared vacant, in which case, as at that moment when the budget was presented, they were no longer members of the House of Assembly. But with the judgment of the Supreme Court, which said, go and present it before Martin Amewule, I do not know whether the Supreme Court essentially and specifically mentioned Martin Amewule in that judgment. And that is why it is important that the enrolled judgment of the Supreme Court, which is a certified true copy, should be made available to lawyers of the state and lawyers to Mr. Governor, so that they will know exactly in letters and the principle, what the Supreme Court said and what the Supreme Court did not say. Because the interpretation that has come out have been mired by politics and personal innuendos. People are now giving it all manner of interpretation the way they want. But no Nigeria that is an adult or that is sensitive to the politics of Nigeria that will tell us that those men did not decamp. They already decamped, and then there was an affidavit that is still alive in the Federal High Court stating the fact of their defection. And any affidavit that is said to be done wrongly becomes a perjury, and perjury is a criminal offense. So the matter has not been rested, even though the Supreme Court has said, go and present the matter before the full House, go and present the budget before the full House of Rivers State Assembly. The fact of the status of the 27 decampees has not been rested.
Right, we're going to have to leave this conversation there. Obviously, we'll keep an eye on the story as it unfolds. Thank you so much, Barrister Fred Nzeako, a lawyer, for coming on tonight. Thank you.